Enzo Ferrari was born on February 18, 1898 in the town of Modena, Italy. His father was a medium-sized business owner. Ferrari had three dreams for the future when he was little. The first was to be an opera singer, the second was to be a sports reporter, and the last was to be a racing driver. He didn't have much talent for the first, didn't put any effort into the second, but his third passion created an unforgettable name in the world. In 1916, since Italy was in the First World War, his father and brother were drafted into the military and they were among those who died in the flu epidemic. Upon these developments, Ferrari, who left the school, was also recruited into the army. Ferrari, who spent a month or two behind the front shoving mules, fell ill in 1918 during the flu epidemic that started again. Having survived this epidemic, which caused more deaths than the war, Ferrari left the army. Ferrari, who will start a new life like other soldiers when he returns home, applied to Fiat to take care of his widowed mother and realize his dream. Due to the rising unemployment in Italy, whose post-war economic situation was a complete disaster, he received a rejection from Fiat. Afterwards, Ferrari started test drives for the Vespa, and thanks to the attention it drew in the races it participated in, it started working for Alfa Romeo in 1920. Fascism started to rise rapidly in Italy, where Mussolini came to power. Ferrari, which attracted Mussolini's favor with its successes on behalf of Italy, received the Cavaliere dell'Ordine della Corona d'Italia title. Ferrari, who quit racing in a depressed period in the mid-1920s, returned to the tracks in 1927. He continued to compete for Alfa Romeo until his son was born in 1932. After the birth of his son, Ferrari quit racing and worked for Alfa Romeo for 9 more years in administrative positions, later realizing that his main desire was to design cars that would bear his name. However, due to the races that stopped with the beginning of the Second World War, Ferrari entered the arms industry. Due to the bomb attack he suffered during the war, he had to move his factory to Maranello. In 1946, Ferrari designed the first car to bear its name, the Ferrari 250 and the Ferrari 250 GT. The Ferrari empire was on the rise, as was the Italian economy. The 1950s was a time of peak for this economic upswing. The biggest reason for this was the increasing demand for Italian goods. This rise came to an end for Enzo with the death of Dino Ferrari. Things started to deteriorate for Ferrari, who divorced his wife, Laura, and started living in the factory. Ferrari, which had to deal with many lawsuits due to the accidents that happened to the test drivers, had to introduce strict safety rules. In the 1960s, Italy entered another period of economic crisis. The rising inflation in these years put Ferrari in trouble. Ferrari, which sold a part of the company's shares to Fiat in 1965, had to sell 90% of its shares to Fiat in 1969, but remained at work until his death. Leaving the presidency in 1971, Ferrari held control of the company's affairs until his death in 1988.